scoot over. Be in the shot.
Okay. Hi.
I think I won't have our tea today.
We already drank it.
We drank it.
We're going to sing you some of our favorite songs for right now. Changes every week.
I'm just a poor wayfaring stranger traveling through this lonely road. There is no sickness, no toil, nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my Father and all my loved ones who gone on. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I know dark clouds will gather round me. I know my way is hard and steep. The view just feels the rise before me, where God's redeemed their vigils sleep. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. It's probably not a super well-known song by Johnny Cash. We have been in love with Johnny Cash for a few months now.
Mm-hmm.
Going through a lot of his songs. It was actually interesting because last time we drove back from Louisiana, we stopped at a half-price bookstore with the kids just to see, because we had a gift card or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I found a cassette tape of Johnny Cash, some of his, I forgot which album it was, but it was some more of his gospel songs. Jesus Says, but a lot of his songs like really inspired me because they're very, he really identifies with the outcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
The downtrodden,
The forgotten. The lonely. The oppressed.
He gives them a voice, and in that manner he's such a beautiful witness of a missionary, a social justice warrior, if you will, that
It's true.
God sends people down to
go sing in the prisons.
Yeah. And of course people immediately throw up, well, he was a drug addict, he was an alcoholic, all this stuff. But who's not a sinner? And the sinners that can identify with other sinners are usually the best evangelists. I mean, that's the witness of people like Matthew in the gospel, right? He was considered the worst kind of sinner of all of Jewish people. He was a tax collector. He took their money and gave it to the Roman government. He was the worst kind of sinner.
Or Mary Magdalene, the prostitute, right? She could relate to other women who had gone through the same crosses. I mean, there's so many saints that are sinners that were able to lead others to God.
So a lot of his songs that I think really we love are, he talks about the the soldier who's lives day to day. You know, we hear stories of wars, but we don't hear individual stories. We just hear numbers now, right? And he told the stories. He tells the stories of the poor, the railroad man, the guy that's sitting in a train car, you know, the circus
the man
child.
whose wife has left him.
Mm-hmm. And in many ways, the best stories he tells are those of prison. Even though he never was in prison, he went to prisons as a prison ministry and sang free concerts. What a beautiful ministry is that? And a lot of them are songs of hope or songs of just realness. Like, I'm with you, brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that really resonates with me. And one of my songs that I remember as a kid, I had an 8-track of Johnny Cash, and one of the songs I remember is probably one of the people think maybe the cruelest songs from a Christian perspective, but yet
it's eye-opening. It opens your eyes to what it is like to be on death row.
Mm-hmm.
To be all alone.
It's really a witness of the injustices that happen to someone who's been convicted to die. Building gallows outside my cell. I've got 25 minutes to go. The whole town's waiting just to hear me yell. Got 24 minutes to go. But they gave me some beans for my last meal. But 23 minutes to go. But nobody asked me how I feel. I've got 22 minutes to go. Well, I sent for the governor and the whole darn bunch. With 21 minutes to go. And I called up the mayor, but he's out to lunch. I've got 20 more minutes to go. The sheriff said, boy, I'm gonna watch you die. 19 minutes to go. So I laughed in his face and I spit in his eye. With 18 minutes to go. Now here comes the preacher for to save my soul. With 13 more minutes to go. And he's talking about burning, but I'm so cold. 12 more minutes to go. With the test and the trap and it chills my spine. 11 more minutes to go. And the trap and the rope, they just work fine. 10 more minutes to go. Well, I'm waiting for the pardon that'll set me free with 9 more minutes to go. But this ain't movie, so forget about me. 8 more minutes to go. Well, my feet on the trap and my head in the noose. 5 more minutes to go. Won't somebody cut me loose? 4 more minutes to go. I can see the mountain, I can see the sky. 3 more minutes to go. And it's too darn pretty for a man to die. 2 more minutes to go. I can see the buzzards, I can hear the crows. 1 more minute to go. And now I'm swinging, here I
go. So I just feel like we need to pause and we need to pray for justice for the prisoners. And we need to pray for the end of the death penalty. Jesus was a victim of the death penalty. And whenever I can't help but think of him when I think of that. So, dear Lord, just please open people's hearts and minds to the cruelty. And that an eye for an eye just makes the whole world blind. So.
And it's real. We watched so many movies, but, you know, there's so many injustices when it comes to the death penalty. They're usually people who end up on death row are the ones who just weren't represented well,
or they have an emotional or psychological problem
Most of
that they need health
yeah,
care.
There's a lot of them have mental problems. They don't need to be in a prison at all. They need to have medical care.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much injustice, and the Catholic teaching, you know, has become more strong in this, that the death penalty is wrong because it is so unjust. And there's so many cases now where they found that they were innocent after the fact. I mean, 10% of cases almost. been able to prove it. That's way too many. And Johnny Cash does a beautiful way of taking such a cruel truth and making it satire, making us really
listen to the
listen
words.
To it, right?
Because then you start listening to the words and you're like, oh, the mayor's out to lunch, and here's this man who's like asking for a pardon, and the mayor's out to lunch. Like, you realize.
And no one says that he was guilty or innocent. He never says that, right? It's that he treated
the injustice around his death.
Another song that he talks about. Actually, he started all of his concerts with Folsom Prison Blues, which was a similar story. It was about a man looking out at a train. He was in prison, and he was just, wanting to be on that train going somewhere. And he never says that he's innocent. He actually admits that he's guilty. But just that thought that he's in a prison, and he's repentant, and, he wants to do better.
Or was it Johnny Cash who wrote the song about the man who had a life sentence, and he always had a picture of his wife in his pocket, and he was buried in his prison outfit with that same faded picture of his wife in his pocket.
And it was a letter to his wife.
Yeah, with a picture.
Yeah.
The faded picture.
The other theme that Johnny Cash really resonates with me is the theme of a worker. He spoke for the working man. Right, at a time when, workers' rights were challenged a lot, and he one of my other favorite satires is the one part at a time, about the factory worker who comes home with one part at a time of a car, and over like 6 years puts together a car.
It was like 40 years, and then he had to have the title, and it said it's all
the years that they listed, and anyway. But one of the songs that we've come across that I played this one once in college and in the band, oddly enough, and it has stuck with me because it tells a real good lesson about work and about what are you chasing. So this is a song that Johnny Cash actually, it wasn't his original. It was written way before. And it was originally done by Burl Ives, and he just took it up and, I don't know, he made it. And you can see my dollar bill that's here. I'm trying this for the first time, actually, but Johnny Cash, like, when he first started, he only had a band with 3 people in it, the Tennessee Trio. They didn't have a drummer. And so he put a dollar bill in his guitar.
As a snare, right?
As a snare. I don't know. Trying it, see how it works. But he ain't caught him yet. your ways today, or with us you will ride. Trying to catch the devil's herd and cross it in the sky. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay. Those riders in the sky. That was fun.
That was fun. And tune-ish, but it was good. Let me turn off my phone. Sorry.
So, part of that song that really gets me every time I sing it is the third verse. Their shirts all soaked with sweat. He's riding hard to catch that herd. He's trying hard to get that goal, that herd riding in the sky, that he ain't caught him yet. Because they've got to ride forever on that range up in the sky on horses snorting fire. And then on the fourth verse it says that as they lopped on by him, he hears one call him his name, and he says, if you want to save your soul from hell or ride on a range, then Cowboy, change your ways today, or with us you will ride, trying to catch the devil's herd. That resonates with me a lot because of
the desire for endless success.
Yeah, just that. What are we chasing? I've been chasing things that
degrees, work,
endless skies, right? Trying to catch that devil's herd.
And it's addiction. Mm-hmm. It can be an addiction. Your work can, which takes you away. I mean, if you're riding across the devil's skies, and the devil's herd, are you with your families? Are you with God? Or are you chasing after something that's unattainable? Or attainable at a cost?
Mm-hmm. So there's actually this song, I was looking up the history. It's apparently it's a you said it best. You said like your analogy was it was like the Valkyries
mm-hmm.
of the Nordic mythology. Valkyries, right? Whenever soldiers would be laying on the battlefield dead, afterwards the Valkyries would come and swoop up and take them away, right? This mm-hmm. is like the Valkyries taking away the cowboys that found their end, right? But it is based on mythology, actually European mythology, not Nordic per se, but it is based on that idea of chasing these mythological creatures to places that you shouldn't be going, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I pray that we all can find where God has us going, and a lot of times that's not what's right in front of us. It's not the
worldly thing that draws us in. So, and then I guess we can. Which song did you play?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the song that we can do a verse or two of this one.
So backstory to this, one of my favorite times we sang this was going to Good Friday, leading a, what do they call them?
Liturgy of the Word.
Liturgy of the Word at a small little chapel in Costa Rica on Good Friday. And we learned all the words in Spanish in it.
Our kids translated them on the way there in the car. Were you when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when the stone was rolled away? Were you there when the stone was rolled away? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble. Were you there when the stone was rolled away? It's a good Friday song.
For anytime song.
So we thank you, Johnny Cash,
For your witness.
for your witness, for your songs, for your example of living with the outcast, the downtrodden, the poor, the worker, the soldier. We thank you for everything that you've done.